Hello, everyone. We're back with another episode of What's the Hype, joined by two very special guests, OGs as we call them, Adam and Jim.
We're some kind of special.
How are you guys doing this lovely
Very special
August afternoon?
Super.
Doing good. Nice day.
Beautiful day. We're recording this on Wednesday, August 13th. We're going to talk about a lot of stuff, really a summer recap, get into some fall golf projects, as well as some potential master plan stuff when it relates to the clubhouse, some trees, some fairways, Adam's golf shop, and everything else that we talk about. But summer is nearly over. This year has been a very, very busy year, just like it's been the past several years we've seen here. It's been a really good year. Staff's done an outstanding job, worked really hard. We've had some challenges, and one of the main challenges is the weather, and it continues to be wet and rainy. Fortunately, not today. It's this first Wednesday in 3 weeks it hasn't rained, something like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the guys are happy.
Yeah, I think it's the first time in nearly a month they actually get golf carts.
Yep. So
That
ladies,
sounds accurate.
take notice. It's not just Tuesdays. It's on Wednesdays too.
Wednesdays, last 2 or 3 Wednesdays it's been walking only and
Yeah,
a
it's
lot of
been
rain. But no, like I've said, it's been a really good year. Really good attendance for really all of our events, both in the clubhouse and the golf course. But the staff really make it happen day in and day out, and I just want to commend Adam, Jim, the rest of the team. They've really, really stepped it up this year, and I think we've had one of our best summers we've had. So thank you to you guys. Speaking of staff, this is the time of year when we lose a lot of our staff, believe it or not. Jim,
Back to school.
Adam's department, food and beverage, you name it, everybody's going back to school. So we are actively hiring pretty much in every department, servers, bartenders, backroom staff, help for Jim on the greens and grounds. Really the only area we're not hiring is the kitchen. That staff stays pretty stable throughout the year. But if you know of anybody that wants a job here this winter, we've got some openings for you. So anyway, Adam, I want to turn things over to you, kind of a golf shop update, maybe a review of your department, touch on events, junior golf, shop sales. I know you guys have been really having a great year over there. The tee sheet rounds, I'll just give you the floor.
Floor's mine. Thank you. It's been a really good year. Thank you for everybody for participating in all of our events. I don't think we've had anything that's been under 100 as far as twilights, couples, the holiday events, the guest stags from the men. Your participation and the level of participation allows us to do a lot of different and fun things with those events and kind of expand on our ideas and gift ideas and things like that. Like the member, we're going to do a couple different things this year. So getting that level of participation just helps us to plan and get things ready and do things that are more fun, not maybe just, hey, go play golf and here's a gift certificate. We can do some fun things there. So golf shop update. We are almost to fall, which means college football, which means cooler temps. So you're going to start to see a increase in layering pieces. We do have some new stuff for the ladies from Johnny O. We have Johnny O women's coming. Women's zero restriction coming. Actually, that got here today, so we'll have that out here in a little bit. Johnny O does collegiate stuff, so we got some Iowa stuff. We got some Iowa State stuff coming. Got some stuff from Nike that are Iowa and Iowa State. So we're going to be your one-stop shop for all your polo needs for the college teams. So come on up and see the shop if you haven't been up there. I think we got a very, very great idea for a Labor Day sale. So big shout out to Garrett, our intern, for having that idea. So we'll give him some credit. Event-wise, junior golf. Let's talk junior golf club championship. I think Sarah had 93 participants.
Wow.
In junior golf
That's
this year.
a great field.
I don't know if we've ever done more than 40, but 93 kids went through the junior golf championship. So congrats to Sarah on that. Very, very well done. Junior golf is almost over because school is going back. We had another successful program with Sarah, with Op 36, with our Hyperion Summer League. She did a Hyperion PGA Junior League this year, which went over very well for those 13 kids. So if you have anything you want your junior to do, let's just get in touch with Sarah Bidney, and she will get you figured out. Tee sheet, still busy. We're kind of wondering what it looks like here once all the kiddos are back in school and there's other things going on to take up your time. So
We'll
it
see. I
should
don't
slow
know.
down a little bit, I would think.
I hope so. I don't know.
So, we'll figure that
crazy.
out. But yeah, to that number, we did 4,800 rounds in July. I think on the year, what was it, 19,800
Just shy
something?
of 20,000.
So just we are using the golf course. So kudos to you guys for coming out and doing that. You know, shop sales, you know, Titleist has new irons out. We are still doing fitting days. I think Will has a personal goal of doing about 75 fittings this year. I don't think he's there yet. So if you guys want anything new, please look up Will. He's got a goal that he really much wants to hit. So he does a very good job in his fitting. So I you know, he's fit me a couple times for my new drivers and stuff. So if there's anything you still want to get, now is the time to get it. So very good there. A big event that we had in July that we wrapped up, and I'm very proud to say we actually got all of ours in, and I don't think anybody else in the Metro was able to get both days of their ladies member guest in, but we got all 2 days of the Chariot in. There was a lot of extra planning because it didn't look that great, but very proud to say that my staff, as usual, did a very, very good job. It was a game show theme this year, and we had a lot of fun with it. Ladies, it is a limited field, so do get that on your calendar early for next year. It is always the last Thursday, Friday in July. You know, I think we got 88 teams for the men's member. We got 42 playing in the ladies member, which is coming up very quickly here. I think that's the 22nd of August. So
Next Friday.
Still time to sign up for that, ladies. And then, of course, I think the next big one for the ladies in September is the Solheim Cup. The red team versus the blue team. I'm not sure who Charnay is the captain of, who Sarah's the captain of, but I think from what I understand, that is probably the most fun event they have all year. So plenty of time to sign up for that and get going there. So, and cool. I know last year the weather was nice for that, so I'm hoping maybe we buck the trend of what we did previous couple of years where it was almost snowing one year, I think.
That's right. It was really
very, very cold. I just remember Ivy yelling at me because it was cold.
Oh,
and then, Ivy, I'm sorry.
It's all your fault.
But yeah, it's overall, we've been having fun. Like Evan said, we are going to lose some staff to college here. So in order to work in my department, you do have to be 16. That's about the only requirement for us. So, but we are always looking. I know Tommy's in charge of the outside kids. So if you have any interest in a job outside, we'll get you in touch with him and get you going. So
good. Well, thanks, Adam. And again, you guys have done a great job down there. I know you had some higher standards for you and your staff this summer, and I've been really pleased with the job you guys have done down there. So very well done.
thank you.
Jim, we'll turn it over to you. Talk about the weather. Rain, and more rain. What do we have? 15 inches of rain in July? Is that somewhere around there?
Yeah, around there.
How have you guys been able to adjust to all the challenges the weather has thrown at you? You know, when it relates to mowing, golf course conditions, and maybe some things that we might have to do because of the weather this year, later this fall.
Yeah, it's been a challenging year, and it's kind of cliche for us because every year is unique in golf maintenance because, you know, no two years are alike weather-wise. Yeah, it's very, very wet. I think we had 13 and a half inches from July 5th through like July 25th and ended up close to 15 on the month, and another 2.5 inches already here in the first half of August. So very wet summer. As far as adjustments, you know, you couple all that rain with all of the moisture in the air. It's been very, very humid through most of July, and so the disease pressure has been extremely high. We've had to kind of double down on some of our plant protectants, fungicides, that sort of stuff. Had to go out with some curative applications versus preventative applications. And we just have not stopped mowing as far as the staff goes. It's wild we're going to end up mowing the rough 3 times here in the middle of August. And oftentimes, you know, half the acreage is just cooked out, crisp. Because it's gotten really hot and dry, and it just hasn't happened this year. I mean, it's just growing out of control everywhere. As far as the greens, tees, and fairways, a lot of our plant growth regulators that we put on to slow the rate of growth on the turf. It seems like the turf is just laughing those products off. It's just growing at a remarkable rate. Yeah, other challenges. It's hard when the demand for play is as high as it is, to get all of the mowing done when it just keeps raining, and then you have these rain events, lightning events that interrupt us, and so we have to get kind of creative when we're doing what days we're mowing what. Sometimes we got to be out there in the afternoon when we would really, probably prefer not to. But we got a good staff. They, for the most part, they all know the drill. They know what to do. They're always helping each other out, and they take pride in Hyperion. They take pride in the experience that you all have, and you got to give them the credit, especially Chuck. There's not much he hasn't seen in 25 years, and he's got a innate ability to kind of adapt on the fly and kind of adjust to the changing conditions. So, been a challenge, but we're hanging in there.
Okay.
We're glad it's middle of August, which means we're close to Labor Day. But the team's really doing well. So
Yeah, they are. I don't know if you had anything.
Oh, I'm sorry. No,
You kind of look like
no. The weather's
Something to
been extra
say.
spicy this year. That's the only thing I got. Extra spicy weather.
Yeah.
yeah.
What about the fairways, Jim? Specifically 4, 5, 12. You mentioned wilting to me the other day. What exactly is that? Are we going to have to reseed fairways, parts of fairways? I know that'll kind of get into more of our discussion on 4 here in a minute or two, but kind of elaborate on that.
Yeah, so, a lot of what we've tried to do, you think about watering on the golf course, but a lot of what we try to do is get water off the course this summer. We've had to get creative a number of times to try to get water off the property. We've, diverted water, pumped water at times, tried to hold water in ponds rather than let it fill up our drain pipes and run across the fairways. But yeah, holes 3 and 4 where we just have standing water day after day, especially when you have the hot sun baking down on that, on that saturated soil and that turf. The plant's trying to, have gas exchange, trying to cool itself, but it's submerged in water and it's not able to. So essentially, there's pockets where the grass is just dead. In large part, it's Poa annua, a weedy species that just cannot tolerate, these weather extremes. There's areas on 3 and 4, a little bit on 12, 5, where we'll have to do a little bit of reseeding. We'll do that here towards the end of August, early part of September, and you'll be surprised at how quickly those areas heal. It's wild to think about, having wilt when you had 15 inches of rain, but we had, I think, 1, maybe 2 weekends where we actually were able to dry the course down to the point where we really probably could have watered, but there's so many other pockets and areas where there's still standing water. So up on the hill, you may have areas that really could use irrigation, and meanwhile down at the bottom of the hill, it's like that's the last thing on your mind is adding any more water to this equation. And then you got the frustrating part, like the water table is so high. For example, on 15 fairway, you've got spots that are bone dry, and then spots where the water is just seeping out of the side of the hill. We're starting to see that. It's been 7 or 8 years since we've seen some of these pockets of water just kind of seeping down on 13, a couple areas on 16, 15. It makes watering a challenge when you've got areas where within the span of one sprinkler head, where you've got areas that absolutely do not give me any more water, and I have a high demand. I really want water, so it's a challenge. We're doing the best that we can. It's just going to take time for the groundwater to kind of go down. Hopefully the rest of August and September we're kind of a little on the lean side for rain. So
You mentioned too a fall aerification that would be new within the last few years. What are your thoughts on that? Why would you do that if you did? Maybe tell the listeners everything about aerification.
Yeah, so we've just we've had so many days where we're so incredibly wet, where we've got standing water in the bottom of the cups. The greens are just showing signs of being saturated for too long. And the way you kind of counteract that is to pull out some organic matter and create voids in the soil where you can backfill those voids with a coarse sand to where you get really rapid and readily exchange of gases and moisture within the soil. Historically in the past several years we've been kind of doubling down in the spring and leaving them alone in the fall. But with just the challenging weather conditions this year, I'm kind of thinking it might be in our best interest to do an aeration. Now, because I want us to heal up more quickly, I probably do, a different procedure, probably a little bit less invasive. Probably wouldn't pull a core except for maybe a couple greens where I feel like it's really, really necessary. And the idea would be to probably do that after the member. Maybe look to move around a couple littler events. And we'd probably just do a solid tine, a deep tine, try to get oxygen deep into the soil. And, a procedure that'll heal up in, a week, maybe 10, 12 days, rather than one that takes 2-3 weeks to heal up from.
Okay.
So I'm kicking around the idea, kind of sort of making plans for it. But we'll see what the next couple weeks have in store for us.
Weather.
Yeah, if we get some more favorable weather, we might be able to get away with, less intrusive. But just be aware that the greens are showing signs of all the traffic and wear and play and rain. And ultimately, I try to fit it into the golf schedule, but we got to do what's in best interest of.
Yeah, got to take care of the golf course long term.
Keeping things going viable long term. Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks, Jim. We touched a little bit on number 4, fairway. We mentioned this back in June that the Greens and Grounds Committee was discussing the idea of moving that fairway north about 8 to 10 yards. So that is going to happen here over the course of this fall and next spring. The main reason we are doing this is because it follows the golf course master plan, which basically is a Bible for the golf course for the next 15 to 20 years. And also a big part of moving the fairway north is we have several ash trees in between 4 and 5 that are in really bad shape. A few maple trees as well that are deteriorating to a level that they have to come down. So there's going to be a lot of trees come down here this fall and winter. A lot of trees. I'm not going to give the number, but there's several, as Jim said earlier today when we were having lunch. So, that's all in the works. There will be planting of new trees, specifically just on the other side of the fence, our side of the fence on 4. The master plan calls for trees to be added there. But there's be some big changes between 4 and 5 here later this fall, and then more so in the spring when we will probably reseed a lot of that fairway, if not all of it. So exciting stuff that we're able to complete all these projects with extra capital dollars with increased membership, so it's no extra cost to the membership. And then a couple other projects this fall we've talked on, but we are going to plan to do is level the tee on 11 and 16. That's the back tee, the green and black tee. Get those leveled out. Those have been on the list for a couple years, and just timing just hasn't worked out. And as well as expand lower practice, that practice facility down there, add significant fairway bent grass chipping area to the south, as well as put a new practice bunker on that north side as well. So always doing projects. That's good to be doing these things, kind of investing for the future, enhancing the amenities. So we're real excited to do that. Adam, Jim, you got anything to add on all the projects we got going on this fall?
Yeah, it's going to be fun. Like I said, there will be some trees coming down. I did kind of an inventory today, and for each tree that's coming down, we're probably going to plant, plant 3 for every 4 that come down. At least that's what I have plans for, anyhow. And I've identified spots where we'll be planting trees already yet this fall. In fact, I've got a company coming on Thursday to look at all these sites and start identifying good species to help diversify the population out here, kind of accomplish our goals for each individual specific site. And so that's that'll be happening already this fall. Lower practice, we'll start in on that process this week and into next week. So you'll start seeing some of that happen here shortly. So be exciting.
Exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a challenge. Probably, number 4 will be probably a multi-season approach to complete that one. But I do have a plan in mind, and it'll probably be coming to fruition about this time next year. We'll be finishing that up. So.
Yeah. Jim's plans are always better than mine. So.
Well, Adam, why don't you talk about rather a 4A Boys State Golf? We're the official hosts this year.
We are very honored to be hosting the 4A Fall Boys State Championship Monday, October 13th and Tuesday, October 14th. Very honored to host. I think it's 12 teams qualify.
12 teams, yep. About
And,
90
some
players.
individual qualifiers as well. So very happy to have them out there. This will be Hyperion's first time ever hosting a state tournament. So
We're thrilled.
we're excited. So
Pressure on the Johnston Dragons.
pressure on everybody. Everybody wants to win.
Okay.
Everybody wants to win. No idea who's any good in the state, so don't ask me. I couldn't tell you who's. I know Andrew's rated pretty high. I think Lucas and
Henry.
Mr. Baker rated pretty high, but I have no idea on team-wise who's favored. But
That's why you play the game, right?
yeah, hopefully my DCG Mustangs can make some noise.
Make some noise.
Shout out to the home team.
Good.
But hosting does come with some struggles, not struggles, but asks. We are going to be looking for some volunteers to help on those 2 days, spotting balls on 15 or 1 or 10 or something like that. So if you, as a member, have some free time and want to help us out, we'll gladly take you. So you'll see a lot more communication, emails, and that sort of stuff come out asking or detailing what we're looking for. So if you do have some time, we'll greatly take the help, because it does take many
Yeah, we're gonna need
people
quite a few
to
volunteers
help with that.
Potentially directing traffic, to kind of meeting and greeting the players when they get here that aren't familiar with Hyperion, and then spotters on the golf course, as well as some other stuff that we've got planned. But yeah, more information will probably be sent out here mid-September about what specific volunteer opportunities, what hours, all that good stuff. But we definitely want to put our best foot forward, which we will, and make this a first-class event.
How many players you think it'll be?
It'll be 12 teams of 6, and then they figure 5 to 10 individuals, so
80 or so, maybe.
80 or so of the best 4A state golfers. So
There will be the days leading up to that Thursday and Sunday, some tee times blocked off for practice rounds for these kids. So
tee times on Thursdays, and then the plan right now is to have a member shotgun in the morning on Sunday, and then let the high school teams out there and not worry about our 3-hour and 50-minute pace of play, and kind of explore some of the nuances of the Hyperion greens.
yeah, today they're really rolling, Jim. Right?
Yeah, that'd be tough.
Over 12.
In one single round to really get a feel for them.
Yes.
Yeah, they're starting to roll pretty good.
I played on
coming
Monday.
together
They were perfect. So
Great. It's that time of year. All right. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate your time today. And one thing I just want to touch on, Clubhouse Master Plan. We've mentioned that here last couple months, but we're having active discussions at the board level about what's next. I believe we have a pretty firm plan here, hopefully to be approved at this month's board meeting. It takes care of a lot of things: more office space for the staff, a golf shop refresh, some things with fitness, and then looking down the road, potentially, simulators, and then maybe even pickleball and basketball. So it's kind of all encompassing. Really excited to talk about these different things when we can, but more to come on that here probably into September. So again, someone must be talking to us or looking at us back there. Oh, Mr. Lee.
Mike
Hecklers.
Lee.
We've got
Hecklers.
some hecklers back there. I don't know. Oh, Ryan White. Wow. What a crew. So anyway, appreciate your guys' time. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll be back sometime in the next couple months.